good production.
Welcome to another episode of Reggae Talk Podcast, the voice of reason for the culture. Where's the for real?
There, man. There in a flesh and blood, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Live and in living color.
Live on direct.
Summer 18.
Yo, man. Summer 18
It's
been a
officially
great.
here.
It's definitely been a great summer so far. I like.
Yeah, man. Summer 18 is just crazy. Summer 17 was one for the records, but Summer 18 is looking like it's about the top Summer 17.
I definitely think so.
Jano.
Jano.
Yeah, man. So, how is everything going right now? How we start up the Summer 17?
Well, we kick it off with Suns. That was a great event.
Sands Festival
Oh, man.
out in Southampton,
Well,
in New York.
Well, originally,
way out east.
it wasn't supposed to be there. Then they have a little glitch on thing, but switch it up on. But it worked out to be the best. We went out there. We had a great time.
Hour and a half drive.
Oh, man. I mean, I seen a lot of people getting pulled over after driving while intoxicated, but that's drive safe.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that,
Don't drink and drive, people.
2018 drive safe, yeah, man.
Drive safely. Make sure you got a designated driver. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But Sands was definitely a great event.
It was a good start. It was definitely a good start.
Definitely a good start.
Yeah, man.
And as a matter of fact, before Sands, I did Chronics.
Ooh, yeah. No,
That was Memorial Weekend.
was that before or after?
No, before. That was Memorial Weekend.
Right.
That was in Brooklyn at the Coney Island Amphitheater.
True.
That was just epic.
I seen the flicks, man. You looked
Yeah,
like
man.
you had a great time.
Yeah, man.
Your wifey.
Chronics. Yeah, me and the missus. Yo, big up my wife. Shouts to my wife.
Yeah, man.
Love you,
Big
baby
up,
girl.
Big up wifey, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. But we definitely did Chronics. That's before that, and great vibes, Protege, Sister Nancy. Great energy down in Coney Island.
Did Chronic? 'Cause I know you've been to a show already. Did he anything new? Any new elements?
Chronics? Boy, the Chronics energy is just
It's always amazing.
You
huh?
just feel it in your body, feel it in your soul.
True.
You know what I say?
Yeah, man. I've Elamar actually told me every time he goes to Elamar's Chronic show, it's something different. It's like Chronics is always growing and evolving. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, and I mean, so big up to Chronics. As
that
a
was-
musician.
That was before Sands. So we did Sands Memorial Weekend. No, we did Chronics Memorial Weekend and we did Sands.
Right.
And then the peak of Summer 18 thus far. Talk about it.
Yo, BRT. It's a BRT. We actually went to BRT to celebrate the executive producer's bachelor party, Dancehall Dave.
Sure.
And it was amazing.
man.
Dancehall Dave enjoyed himself.
Legendary.
I myself went viral. You know what I mean?
Man go viral.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so you take Marvin the Beast job.
You know?
Marvin the
But
Beast.
by the way, he was out there.
Yo,
You know what I mean?
that's
Marvin
all-
the Beast.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, he was
there,
actually,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, he was on stage with Ding Dong.
but yeah, what, you know,
Furry went to work, so he lay low.
Wifey, I pre me right now, so you know when I
Yo, big up wife, yo, big up wife,
Yeah,
yo.
man, yeah, man,
Yo,
yeah,
me this Dancehall Dave, yo. Just want to say, yo,
Executive
bless up.
producer.
Yes, of course. I want to say big up, bless up, and big thanks to everybody who showed up to BRT Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I love
All
vibes
25
that we
of
had.
us.
Yo.
Yeah, man.
Yo, man, listen, all you gotta do is hashtag BRT weekend, and first video you'll see my viral video. Right now it's almost 200,000 views.
That's our shade room.
Yeah, I mean, and it's growing. Big up Missy the dancer. Her IG is That's the Dancer.
That's the
Big up
dancer.
because she did up there with me. on
That's the dancer.
thing. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
AKA for
just
real.
the way we said it.
Yeah, man. But Summer 18 is definitely it's definitely etching out to be one for the record. Definitely one for the records. But let's get into it.
Yeah, man.
Let's get into it for real. So, people, you know how we do. If this is the first time you're listening to Reggae Talk Podcast, you know what we do. We look at the culture, we look for trends, and then we speak on it. We share our perspective,
Yeah.
and we allow you to share yours. You know what I mean?
So pretty much this topic we're saying, is there a conflict between reggae roots and dancehall
Fans, artists,
and artists as well.
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? 'Cause we're definitely noticing, something in the culture where we're noticing a separation between dancehall and reggae roots fans and artists alike.
Yeah, man.
So we just want to talk a little bit about dancehall reggae music. I mean, both are modern Jamaican musics. Dancehall is relatively new. It's a subgenre of reggae. So pretty much dancehall emerged, around the time hip hop emerged. But we all know that dancehall stems from reggae.
Hip hop emerged
from
dancehall.
That's exactly what I said.
Episode 5.
Yeah, we actually spoke about it, episode 5.
Episode 5.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. But pretty much, people, what we're seeing is a little rift, a little conflict between the roots artists, fans, and the like, and the dancehall following. You get what I'm saying?
True.
And remember, let's put a little context, because we like to put context on things before we get into things. Because remember, when the dancehall music kind of emerged,
right,
back in the late 70s, 80s, or whatever, reggae was the popular music of Jamaica.
True.
So you had a lot of reggae enthusiasts who pretty much disapprove of dancehall because they thought dancehall was very lewd, and the sound changed.
It wasn't as
electronic. It was a digital era.
Right. It wasn't live. It wasn't live music as
it wasn't the drums, the live drums and the bass. It was more electronic. It was more digital.
Right.
With the keyboard and all that stuff. The pace, went through the roof.
True.
You get what I'm saying? So the hardcore reggae followers, they did not like what was going on.
They didn't like the synthetic sound. They didn't
like what was going on.
Right.
So we're not going to get into the 90s and all that stuff, but we're going to speak about what we see today. We see a little conflict between the roots followers and the dancehall followers.
True.
Where pretty much, or the roots artists, where pretty much people who subscribe to the reggae roots, a lot of people who subscribe to reggae roots, the slow stuff, the more conscious stuff, they kind of like turn their nose at dancehall.
True.
Yeah. And the dancehall followers, the hardcore dancehall, people who are really into the lewdness and the slackness and the rare, they kind of look at the roots people as if, they're more like conscious, self-righteous, F them. So that's really what we're seeing.
So it seemed at that time reggae was more mainstream and dancehall became the underground. You know what I mean? So the new pop culture with the new generation pretty much kind of more related to dancehall as what was there. They identified with that. The violent culture, the slackness, the lewdness of the music is what they kind of related to at heart. So at that point, reggae was seen mainstream.
But you are going no.
Yeah.
Reggae, some people would classify Jamaican music as one.
Right.
Like me personally,
yeah.
Jamaican music is one reggae.
Definitely.
It's one reggae.
I agree.
Dancehall is kind of like under the umbrella. It's like a hybrid of reggae.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's one reggae.
True.
But you do have some people who say it is reggae and dancehall. If you notice, whenever you hear the artists or you read in the media, they say reggae and dancehall.
Right.
In other words, here's reggae and here's dancehall. So as much as people say, it's one reggae, it's kind of like separated. Dancehall is on the right, reggae is on the left. And
you know what? On the Billboard charts, reggae and dancehall is all on the reggae.
Yeah, man. It's one category. So whenever any Jamaican artist get an award, it's classified as reggae.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So pretty much. So anyway,
it's always like a struggle. It's always a struggle between reggae or dancehall. Right. You get what I'm saying? And I remember like a few months ago, Bounty Killer, the general, Yalao. The general he received some kind of award at the Jaria, some kind of award ceremony in Jamaica. And Bounty Killer, the legendary Bounty Killer, professed that there's one reggae.
Yep.
So for Bounty Killer to make such statement, clearly there's some kind of rift. Something was on his mind.
And it's not just Bounty Killer. There's other artists as well who feels like reggae and dancehall are one genre. I've heard Chronix in an interview with on stage with Winford William stating the same thing, saying dancehall and reggae is one music. And we see the conscious effort that Chronix makes to pretty much merge the two. He does well right now in merging the two genres, reggae and dancehall. And would you agree?
Chronix does a great job. A great job at fusion the genre. Because remember, Chronix boss with Adras.
True. And that was I would have considered that dancehall.
Yeah, man. That's really a dancehall song.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. But let's go back to the riff. What do you think is because, for example, you have some people who really don't listen to dancehall, to the hardcore stuff. And then you have some dancehall people who really don't subscribe to the roots.
Right.
So my thing is that what is really preventing them? Because at the end of the day, it's one culture.
Now,
the artists bred from the same place.
So now the dancehall, we spoke about this on a earlier episode, that the dancehall music is pretty much singing about topics that relate to dancehall scene. So, but at the same time, the dancehall scene is a reflection of reality. So with the dancehall music, they kind of glorified certain lewdness, certain sexual activities, violence, but also you have artists who also sing about the spiritual consciousness of the music. And
like which artists?
All right, let's name a few.
Which artists
now
who sing about, for example, because reggae is known as more conscious, more spiritual.
Right.
But at the same time, you're saying that dancehall artists were singing about spiritual.
So that's what I'm trying to say. There's a misconception that dancehall is just this lewd, violent, and it's fast paced, all about dancing.
Great point.
The thing is, you also have these dancehall artists who sing about the spiritual consciousness, the spiritual awakening. And to name a few, let's talk about Virgin. Let's talk about Jamil.
In a real life.
Yeah, let's talk about Progress. Progress. Let's talk about even the new sensation, Ryan King,
Mr. Sumfest 2018.
Ryan
King.
Yes, master. So this shows you that in the realm of dancehall, we also speak about political unrest and we speak about the spiritual consciousness. So the thing is, I think it's more of a myth, a misconception that kind of prevents certain reggae fanatics artists,
to even fans,
to accept dancehall as such. But back in the days when let's say Buju Banton was reigning,
because remember this, remember Buju Banton was started out as a hardcore dancehall artist,
right,
and then he kind of like transcended into more of a conscious artist.
Quick point,
and that's when his career really skyrocketed.
Quick point. Now, the stemming point for Buju Banton to get to that point of spirituality was Rastafarianism. Yeah. So now the awakening of the Rastafarianism within Buju Banton kind of put him in a place where he felt like a need to speak on spiritual consciousness. Now that we could watch it throughout the years. Bob Marley was the same. Same thing goes for Sizzla Kalonji, who was also someone who was very important in bridging the gap. Capleton also was another. So now the thing is, maybe that acceptance of Rastafarianism is where the divergence started, where these reggae roots fans felt like the artists had to be adapted to that Rastafarianism. Could that be?
So let me ask you this: You think there's a mutual respect between the roots artists and or fans and the dancehall artists? You think roots artists respect dancehall artists, or you think roots fans respect, or vice versa?
No.
You think there's a mutual respect?
I don't think there's a respect unless you subscribe to the Rastafarianism. This is the point I'm trying to make is if you don't subscribe to the Rastafarianism, then that's where the divergence is.
Diversion.
Right, because if Buju Banton was a dancehall artist who sing about slackness, once he made the accepted his fate as a Rastafarian, then his content changed, but also he also went into that reggae world where they accepted him. So maybe that's
So who are listen?
Yeah.
Dancehall artists sing about their realities.
Right.
They sing about their realities and they present it differently. So if you're a Roots fan, you subscribe to Reggae Roots conscious music.
Right.
Who are you to judge what I sing about?
Right.
We come from the same place.
It's the same place. So
and that's what I see. That's what I see a lot of this. And I got to make reference to the social media at Reggae Music Forever.
Yeah.
Yo, whenever I put up a Roots song, a Reggae Roots song, the energy is different.
True.
The energy is different as opposed to when I put up a dancehall artist song.
It's true.
Granted, I mean a lot of my followers on the page.
You have your fans who
they're hardcore dancehall. They're hardcore dancehall followers. So my thing is that what's preventing dancehall people who really subscribe to dancehall hardcore culture, what's preventing them from really being interested in Roots?
True.
Right.
I mean,
can I interject for a second?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Dancehall,
you know.
Dancehall,
Really touching the mic too
Dancehall
much.
making his big introduction today,
Yo, man,
ladies
I
and
feel the
gentlemen.
vibes.
Get him on our vibes.
Man, I feel the vibes now.
Right.
Right. Things.
Right. You
Man, behind the camera.
know, one of the things that you guys are, talking about, specifically, you're talking about roots reggae versus the dancehall culture and stuff like that. But remember that we also got to talk about reggae in general. So
yeah.
while we're talking about the Rastafarianism movements and all that kind of things that a lot of these artists subscribe to, remember that we have other artists who like Beres Hammond, Romain Virgo, and all those others who's actually touching on different topics from what we're talking about. They're more on the love, the peace.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So I'm glad you mentioned that. You know
Great
what?
point.
These artists now will be more considered reggae rock, like rock steady actually.
Yeah, man.
Rock steady, because the romantic aspect of reggae is where rock steady emerged, where our artist is actually singing love music.
Everybody get ready.
You know what I mean?
Do the rock steady.
So now, Romain Virgo, Christopher Martin, John Holt,
Well, you have to put in a Jack here too.
Jack here, you have to go in there.
Even though you have
Glenn Washington, you know what I mean? Beres Hammond, Dennis Brown. And with Dennis Brown, he played both sides because he did reggae and he also did rocksteady. Yeah. Now, these artists pretty much are very romantic. You know what I mean? Enough ladies, I say all the time on the top about and I love Beres Hammond. Yeah, because you like the romance. You know what I mean? And nothing wrong with that. So the thing is, now that emerges right there, a subcategory, a subgenre in reggae itself, right there, because you have roots reggae, you have rocksteady, and they have dancehall. But it all falls under one umbrella, like Dancehall Dave said. Reggae.
Here's my take.
Yeah.
Here's my take.
Yeah.
If you subscribe to Jamaican music, first of all, let's be general. Life is about balance. Life is about balance. And what I see from a lot of people who subscribe to dancehall culture or people who subscribe to roots, rock, reggae music, dubstep, and all those things.
Right.
You have those people, especially the roots rock people, from what I see, my perspective. If you don't agree with me, write under the comment. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Put it on YouTube, whatever, my Instagram. What I see from a lot of these roots rock people, they come across as very, very self-righteous. They do not subscribe to dancehall. And my thing is that, it's one culture. Dancehall is a way of life. Reggae music is one music. One music, reggae dancehall is a way of life. So if you subscribe to the roots, you have no business looking down on your own people.
I agree with you, 100%.
Yeah, man.
Especially to the fact that I went viral. I mean, and I'm going to talk about that. The reason I'm talking about that is because I noticed, and I'm pretty sure Marvin talks about it all the time. He noticed that a lot of people that's outside of the culture who subscribe to dancehall, reggae culture, they shun upon the fact when he does dancehall, reggae related behaviors.
One culture.
This is our culture. This is what we do. How could you look down on us for something that's a part of the culture.
Yeah.
Either you accepting it as a whole,
Granted,
or you just don't accept it.
granted, the artist who's singing the music, who's singing the song,
Right.
the Chronics,
Right.
he comes from the same place,
Right.
the same neighborhood
Right.
where Marvin come from.
So
It's a way of life. So my way of life might not be your way of life. But guess what? We come from the same place.
we have to learn
It's one culture.
Learn how to respect.
It's differences.
It's just different, but you still have to respect it. You can't look down on it. You can't put your nose. All right, now even to go as far as something we was talking about earlier. Now, what's the difference between reggae and dancehall? I mean, the basic difference that we notice is just the way that reggae artists express themselves. They express themselves a little bit more plainer, a little bit more clearer,
Better
more
clarity.
Right.
Clarity is more.
clarity.
It's more clarity. It's
Very.
more plain English. It's more palatable.
Yep.
It's more palatable. But and that opens up another can of worms. Maybe especially the international masses, the people who are really not
Now,
from the Caribbean.
Are reggae artists making music more for the international market and not per se for the Jamaicans masses?
I would have to interject to that one.
Yeah.
I don't think that they are. I believe that most of the reggae artists, they're making the music for the love of music.
True.
Yeah, man.
Now, I agree with you.
Good point,
Now,
Dancehall.
now the thing is, reggae artists now
Definitely.
they're a little bit more. Let's say they could express themselves a little bit more intellectually, right?
Maybe they choose to because they have a target audience.
Right. They have a wider target audience.
They have a target audience who connect with them.
right.
So they have to connect. They have to project themselves. They have to give off a certain energy.
True.
Because if you're singing righteousness,
True.
your energy must be righteous.
That's true.
Gotta come off.
You get what I'm saying?
So you gotta come off more
So
emotional.
if you're singing
spiritual.
badness,
Right.
Right.
if you're singing badness now, you got to be erratic.
Got to come off dumb.
You saw that video.
No. Correct that.
Not dumb.
Correct
No,
that,
but-
No,
correct that,
you know what
correct
I'm,
that.
let me finish my thought.
Yeah.
If you singing badness, it would make sense to come off erratic.
Right.
Case in point, Popcorn. You saw the video with Popcorn shooting the guns?
Oh yeah, seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the submachine gun, and then go like this,
and the
pop,
man
pop, pop,
bust
pop,
out, bust out the one pop,
and then dash away,
bust out the
and then
matic.
pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
People love that.
I really think.
But does the Roots,
Nah, they don't.
the Roots,
They definitely
the
don't
conscious
appreciate
reggae Roots artists, followers, fans, do they approve of that?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
It's a way of life.
Right.
I'm not saying that the energy he's giving off is right, but at the end of the day, that's his reality. It's a way of life.
True.
Who are you to look down on someone's way of life
That's right.
when pretty much we come from the same place?
Right.
And that's what I see from a lot of the Roots artists and fans.
Right.
They tend to look down on the
and they-
dancehall
Right.
music
They-
and fans.
Right. They come
And
off
artists.
like they're better than the thereof. So now the thing is, I was talking earlier about even human culture. Human culture is in this generation. You see some people who are kind of conscious rappers or conscious singers, gospel singers. They get more lower views than someone who is singing nonsense, something more not so much substantial in a sense. So that's probably a possibility what's going on and as well. It's
So Popcorn is just keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
People respond to negativity
true.
as opposed to, and that's why you got to respect.
Because Popcorn, he's a very conscious youth.
Speaking of Popcorn,
Yeah.
Popcorn album,
Oh,
Popcorn
what do you
brand new
think-
album right
what
now.
do you think about that?
Yo, it's a good album. I wasn't really expecting it. I thought it would have been a little more balanced with the hardcore and the soft stuff.
Me
But
particularly,
it's really like a very smooth album, but I think it was purposeful.
I think it's purposefully planned where he did it, where
Yeah.
people can decipher his lyrics. From a wider audience, I should say, can decipher his lyrics. It's slow. You can tell that the tempo of the instrumentals are very slowed down. The way he's singing is like bar for bar, like he's spoon feeding the audience, which is something that I think that the masses would take on to. I mean,
the numbers
and
the
the thing
numbers
is,
on the iTunes
is doing
worldwide.
well. Right. Now the thing is about making an album, you're making an album to sell. You're not making an album just to please your immediate fan base, from your community. So if you're thinking about the wider, bigger picture, you're gonna think about other people who might not understand your.
We're gonna talk about that later on.
Your patois, your lingua, your lingo. So you're gonna slow it down a bit. And I like it. I mean, yeah, it's not hardcore dancehall, but
good album.
Yeah,
good album. I like it. However, I prefer his previous album. That's you. How I feel.
Right.
Because I'm a proponent.
But would you think it's good? Would you think it's good for the culture if he went #1 on the charts for around the world and sold?
Absolutely.
Right.
But as you say, for the culture, I'm all about the authenticity of the culture,
right,
and preserving that.
True.
True. And preserving that because. Right. I mean, I'm not.
We spoke about in the last episode. We spoke about artists going mainstream.
Yeah,
so that's a slippery slope right there. Because if artists want to go mainstream, music. But if artists gonna go mainstream, they gotta be, like you said, palatable to the masses.
Yeah,
so
but
this is what he
you
did.
can be hardcore and palatable.
No, well, he is hardcore on this one. He is talking straight patois.
I'm talking about the production.
Production wise, remember Dre Skull did that. So production wise, you're not getting a Jamaican producer you're getting someone has the air of the world.
So do you hear Popcorn's? You hear songs of Popcorn's album?
The first one,
break it into into urban radio.
I definitely do.
Remember,
it's still early though.
But you hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Dancehall music. Historically, dancehall music is about energy and vibes, up tempo.
True.
You get what I'm saying? Silence, the first song on the album, I love it.
Right.
I love it. However, it's not really a up tempo song. It's more like a meds and a vibes, and he's talking some.
Right.
He's talking some real.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Now it's a new time. So now remember, Controller was not a vibe. Controller was more slowed down and very listenable. So. I'm thinking
that's a great point.
It's a new time, so he's giving what the time is calling for.
Yeah,
so
man.
Slow down lyrics where people can listen to, girls can whine to, girls can sing along to. So I think it works for the time that we're in.
Man.
Yeah,
man. But that's Popcorn Forever album. Damn, we really went on a popcorn tangent. This podcast is not about popcorn, but that's to show you.
But it goes into reggae and dancehall.
Yeah, man. That's to show you went a popcorn tangent. But that's the Popcorn album. It's doing really well on charts right now. Yeah, man. But yo,
let's talk about who bridges the gap. Who bridges the gap?
Back to the episode at hand between the
who's bridging the gap between reggae and dancehall.
Rift.
And we did say Chronics already. So who else?
Who else has bridged the gap throughout the years?
Well, Buju Banton did it.
Buju Banton.
Sizzler.
That's what makes Sizzler great.
Definitely.
And that's why Sizzler is legendary. Because Sizzler bridges the gap between the roots following, the conscious following, and the hardcore dancehall following. And I remember when Sizzler started out as like more conscious, and then like in the late 90s, early 2000s, that's when he started like testing the waters with a dancehall and started singing the
full-fledged
boom 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 boom.
And he got a
backlash. And the gun songs. And
he got a super backlash.
Crazy backlash.
From the purists.
Hold on. So I gotta go bring it back. Like long before all of them, back in the early 90s, Capleton was doing this thing. Capleton bridged the gap from back in 92.
Between the roots,
91, 92.
between the reggae roots and the dancehall. Remember, Capleton started as a ballad.
Started as a dancehall.
As a ballad.
I understand.
As a ballad.
Right.
Big,
so
real talk.
Right. True. So exactly. Who more can bridge the gap than somebody who was doing it from one aspect and then bridge over to the next?
And he's up to this day. He's still.
But that was a whole that little era right there is a number of dancehall artists who kind of like transitioned
definitely
from the dancehall, the hardcore.
It's a handful. It's not much.
Yeah, from the hardcore to the more conscious.
Right.
And they kind of like go back and forth. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people tried it since, but they weren't successful.
No, not
Anthony
true.
B.
Not true. Who
else?
We have artists that tried it since and they've been doing well. Busy Signal for one.
Yes. I gotta concur.
Yeah.
I gotta concur. Busy Signal is
To get into the more modern, no, that was the that was more.
Oh, you mean okay, gotcha.
But the more modern day, the most recent. Busy Signal did it, but then who else?
Agent Sasko.
True. He did an awesome job, and I'm like
Theory of Reggaetivity album a couple years ago,
right?
2 years ago. I mean, talk about Agent Sasko about. I mean, his transition from the hardcore into the more conscious.
It's like same thing like it goes for Buju Banton and goes for Sizzler and goes for Capleton. He did the same transition. Only thing is he never grew the dreads. But Agent Sasko is one of those artists who pretty much evolved in the music. He started as doing things, living dangerously, move, that real dancehall, I mean, and then came to a whole point where he's saying, winning right now, with full-fledged reggae consciousness. So he's one of them that could fall into that category of Buju Banton and Sizzler and Capleton, and he's doing an awesome job. He's not running down the hype as many dancehall artists are. He sometimes as a dancehall artist, you just gotta kind of evolve and mature and know where you at in the music and not compete with the youngins. And I respect that about certain dancehall artists. You have certain dancehall artists who they didn't get it. They didn't get that idea to evolve, and they're still trying to run down that dancehall element.
Yeah, man.
But we're talking about that on the next one.
Next episode. Yeah, man. But so we have Busy Signal seamlessly. Ever since Busy kind of like transitioned from the hardcore, into the roots also, consciousness, that we have Agent Sasko.
You have Taurus Riley.
Taurus Riley.
He plays both fields.
I remember he did a recent episode on Nightly
and he
Fix.
said you can't hold him in one box.
As a matter of fact, we gotta big up Nightly Fix.
Yeah, man, big up Nightly Fix.
Big up Nightly Fix. Big up Ari.
Honestly,
big up Naro.
To be honest, more time. Man, I lost up on my bed in the night time when I screw up on Nightly Fix. I said, hold on, man. I look for a new interview. I feel away, man. I miss it, man.
You missed the interview.
I missed the interview with them, dog.
But differently. I love the podcast too.
I love it same way.
I love Nightly Fix new podcast because they have a lot of more flexibility.
But dog, I missed
you missed the interview?
Interview with them.
I miss it too.
Yeah.
But the podcast, the do them thing. Is what I say.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Big up Ari. Big up Nara, because Nightly Fix people, if you don't know, Nightly Fix, them say reggae music forever from long time, and reggae talk, they support our stuff, so we got to give back that energy. So
now let's talk about fans a little bit. So now, and I talk about my personal experience as an artist. So pretty much I try to sing type of music with content. I don't really I don't glorify violence. I mean, sometimes I might get a little lewd, but most of the time I'm singing about concepts that are intellectual in a sense. Now, the thing is, what I realize with reggae and dancehall is a lot of the reggae artists, they tend to take on the stance where I'm at, where they sing topics that are pretty much, spiritual consciousness, topics that you have to think about, something deeper. How do
hardcore dancehall fans receive your consciousness?
Now, the thing is about dancehall fans, they love vibe. They love the vibe of music. They want to bounce. Sometimes the Mirror Cartel will make you want bust gun. Dog, someone bust up long for that.
Yeah.
Or they hear a dancing tune and want wall a girl and dagger out or wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So now, the thing is, sometimes that alone that causes the rift. Because some of the fans of reggae artists are conscious thinkers. They're not into the vibe. They just want to think.
And that's the kind of person I am. If you know me, I'm all about balance.
Same here.
I'm not one track, for real. Likewise, dancehall, we're all about balance. People, if you hear me say dancehall, I mean dancehall Dave. That's our executive producer. Yeah, man.
I'm on a dancehall, tell me.
Yeah, man.
Dancehall.
So if you hear me say dancehall, that's dancehall Dave, our executive producer. But what I'm saying is that I'm all about balance. You have some people, they're very one track. They do not understand balance. And I'm not only talking about roots people. I'm talking about the roots people, all they want to listen to is roots.
Right.
And they look down on the dancehall stuff. When they see the dancehall hardcore stuff, yo, it doesn't give them no energy. It doesn't give them no vibe. And the dancehall people, on the other hand,
they hear roots and when they get bored.
When they hear the roots,
they feel some of the dancehall feel like say reggae as uptown. Now, uptown people think that. Smart people think that.
Big speech.
Yeah, it's like, but that's not true because reggae is from the garrison, just like dancehall is. It's just
the essence of reggae is from the ghetto.
From the ghetto.
There's
people who just want to speak about the spiritual
social commentary.
Right. You know what I mean? So now I think that's has a lot to do with the separation of it. The fact that some people are just into vibes and some people are into consciousness. Some people want to hear how to like, for me, example, as went to school and thing, I used to wake up every morning and have to listen to Luciano.
Big time. Likewise.
Give me thanks, soldier. Them things that just made me feel motivated to go through my day and kind of like motivate me to focus harder, focus more, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just kind of work a little more convicted on things. So that's pretty much some people out there. They want to listen to reggae because it's a motivation. But you have some people who just don't want to think. They just want vibe.
They just want the vibes.
They just want to go out and
early in the morning.
I remember them high school days. You have some youth with us. They are school just for vibe.
Or the ladies. You have a lot of you have a lot of the ladies, and I'm gonna talk about this for my social media. You have a lot of the ladies. They're just into the dash out. They're just into vibes.
Passa.
I guess I know when you give them some music that's into the meds, music that touches your heart. Many of them, they don't want to hear it. You get what I'm saying? And on the flip side, you have the roots followers. True. There's a lot of them. Listen, this is something that I've pretty much studied over the years, just from being on social media and blogging. You have a lot of the roots followers.
And the sociologists.
Whenever, you know what thing go my youth. The roots followers. One's a sociologist.
Yo, hold on. I'm gonna have to try relate this to American hip hop, reggae, hip hop, R&B. You know what I mean, right. Genre. Definitely. So what you're trying to say is that some of it's like the same thing if you're listening to some of the listeners who love to listen to Cardi B.
Yeah.
Versus the other listeners who want to listen to a more conscious Kendrick Lamar who's talking about more social injustices and things like that.
And guess what?
And
guess what? Cardi B listeners be like, yo, F Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Kendrick Lamar listeners, when they hear Cardi B, hell no, she got no talent.
Right.
Pretty much.
Thanks.
That's pretty much the correlation between the dancehall and the roots followers. Right. Roots, dancehall is trash. Dancehall, roots, they think they're better than us. I don't listen to it.
Sounds like a beef between the nerds and the jocks.
The cool kids.
I love that. That's a good.
Maybe we are nerd dog.
All right, for example, case in point. Let's talk about.
Well, you did tell me a battle between heart and mind.
Yeah. Because I was reading an article, and the article was, I gotta find an article. It was basically talking about music. It was basically about music that touches the mind versus music that touches the heart. So I would liken it to the reggae and the dancehall.
True.
I would say maybe the modern day dancehall follower love the dancehall because it touches the mind,
which is vibe.
The vibe, as opposed to the modern day roots reggae follower who likes the roots reggae music because it touches the heart.
True.
You get what I'm saying?
It's depth.
And I'm that kind of person. I like the in-between. I like balance. Life is about balance. Because in the morning time, I like to listen to the roots.
True.
But in the afternoon when I get over work, I like to listen to that hardcore. That's what I say.
Yo, but what you're saying is to each their own. To each their own. Because guess what? Driving down Flatbush Avenue.
Brooklyn,
New York.
Yeah.
Sometimes 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm hearing some hardcore dancehall beating in some of these cars.
That's a fact.
Yo.
Because you're in Brooklyn, New York, aka Flatbush, aka the most highly concentrated
New
Caribbean,
York,
Jamaican.
USA, Kingston.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's Caribbean Central, Jamaican Central. Yeah, man. So let's actually talk about who else is bridging the gap. So we have Chronix. He's bridging the gap.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Kabaka
Pyramid.
Yeah, man. Prodigy.
Yeah.
He's another one.
Protege.
Yeah, he was on Nightly Fix, and he's a man with tell us say, "Oh, my love I doing it."
As a matter of fact,
why for that? Him love
Yo,
I doing the music.
Great. As a matter of fact,
Banga.
you remember when Protege kind of like co-signed Idonia?
Yeah,
How did people respond to that?
It was interesting, especially his roots reggae fans. They was like, "What?
Why is Protege co-signing Badman music? Is he really a Rasta?"
Yo, I want music, man. I want culture. Everybody's joined by the hip, man. No matter how you want to look at it. So, like we're saying.
But guess what? No, here's what I see.
Yeah,
a lot of the roots artists, are they really embracing dancehall artists? For example.
Remember I said at one point Sizzla did a fight against
all right, Sizzla and Popcorn, they link.
Me attack one my boy man Young Legend.
Oh, Gage.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying but
I remember said even Chronix, Popcorn, remember? Chronix and Popcorn, they have a little.
Yeah, look a riff as well. So sometimes the roots artists, roots reggae artists on the dancer have riff just off of differences of views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
but guess what? They come from the same neighborhood.
Right. So the thing is, like, yo, I always tell people we're different individuals, so we're gonna have different perspectives about things, but we gotta be able to respect each other, respect each other's perspective. So I just see them thing as artists. You have a perspective for righteousness, and you have a perspective for such and such, but you still gotta respect another man's perspective, even if the man as a badness him say. You know what I mean? Maybe you could shed some light and teach up that person that your idea. But you can't just say, I'm done with that money. I'm not listening.
Yeah.
It's good to bounce off ideas. It make you sharpen the sword, you know?
It allow you to be more well-rounded.
Yeah, man.
The more perspectives you have, the better individual you are.
Definitely.
And it kind of like widens your worldview.
True.
But I'm gonna appeal to dancehall followers and reggae roots followers. If you are a dancehall follower, you should embrace the roots because it's one culture.
One culture.
You're right. If you're a dancehall follower, your playlist should not only be Popcorn, Vibes Cartel, Alkaline, Idonia. Your playlist should have some Damian Marley. Your playlist should have some Kabaka, some Chronix.
Now, we know the Chinese them say yin and yang.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, as an outsider who never grew up in a Jamaican culture, you get more perspective when you accept the dancehall culture now. So you kind of have an idea of what these individuals are going through on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
So now you have an idea, say a man is saying that he walks outside and say a man gets shot down dead. So now you can understand why a man would glorify it and why a man would say, oh, I'm not deal with them thing there.
Absolutely.
It give you a full perspective. You shouldn't say, oh, I don't want to hear that. Because it's a part of the culture. It's a part of life. It's a part of reality. You can't say you don't want to hear that. You should have embraced it and listened to it. That way, now you could kind of understand what your artist is saying. Chronix is on. He's singing peace and love in the unity and get and rare. Now you have an idea what the ghetto involves in. You can't just say a man fighting and violence and girls and things. You kind of have an idea now. So it's something you should embrace as a fan.
Yeah, man.
And as an artist, because it widens your genre content to sing about.
Absolutely. So, people, we just kind of like want to open up the platform. We just want to open up the floor for this conversation because this is something that we've seen in the culture where you have roots artists. They're kind of like on this side. You have a dancehall artist. They don't really subscribe to the roots. They don't really follow the roots. If the music you listen to in your car is mostly dancehall or mostly roots, that means there's a problem.
Right.
If you really subscribe to Jamaican music. Like, because for one, I love dancehall, and people who follow me, you check out my stories on social media or whatever. I love dancehall, but I listen to the roots as well, heavy. I listen to the roots because life is about balance. If you only listen to the Booga Yaga, the Ray, yeah, couple rubber band, couple, you see me I say?
Yeah, man.
And you know, listen to some Kabaka Pyramid. You don't listen to some Jesse Royal. You get what me I say?
True.
It's about balance. It's about a state of mind. And likewise, the roots people, if you just listen to just the roots, you're going to be one track.
True.
You're going to be one track. You got to be versatile. You got to be, you get what I'm saying? And that's what life is about. And this is just my perspective. If you feel that life is about being one track and just being about one dimensional, hey, so be it.
All right, here we're going. Big up V Monroe.
Yeah.
She's not here right now, but she's definitely a part of the family. You'll definitely be hearing from her.
Yeah, man. Next episode.
The episodes. Yeah, man.
V Monroe. V Monroe from the at V Monroe 12. Yeah, at the V Monroe Collections. Yeah. You know what I mean? Family. The last episode 5. You get what I'm saying? Definitely
amazing. We got a lot of good feedback.
We get a lot. No, great
feedback that they love the dynamic of the three of us.
Yeah, man.
So she's definitely a part of it. You'll definitely be hearing from her. So
big up V Monroe.
Don't feel like saying
Panama.
You're not gonna hear our voice again. Trust me.
But V Monroe, somebody said to me that I was in the gym. I was in the gym the other day, and I ran into one of our supporters, and he's like, yo, your shorty who was on your podcast, you said she was from Panama, but she sounded like she was from Brooklyn. I'm like, yo, she's from Brooklyn, but
she's raised in Brooklyn.
Raised in Brooklyn, but she's Panamanian and she lives in Panama.
She lives in Panama. So.
Panama City. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Big up V Monroe.
Yeah, man.
At V Monroe 12, the V Monroe Collections. Yeah, man. Big up Dancehall Dave. Dancehall _ Dave. You understand? And also, don't forget, follow us
at Reggae Talk.
At Reggae Talk on the Instagram. Yeah. You know what I mean? Reggae Talk on YouTube.
Yeah, my Reggae Music Forever.
At Reggae Music Forever.
And myself, a.k.a. For Real.
Yeah, a.k.a. For Real. Yeah, man. So, people, we just wanted to shed a little light on something that we see in the culture. Make sure you follow us, subscribe us. You know what I mean? This episode definitely went a little bit longer than we thought it would go. You know what I mean?
We can see some more collaborations between dancehall artists and reggae artists.
Yeah, and we want to appeal to dancehall fans. Yo, you guys need to check out the Roots, Reggae Roots, and the Reggae Roots.
And to the reggae fans and to the dancehall fans, we're one. Unity is strength. And I mean, you kind of have you gotta have a full vision of the culture. Don't just, say one way. Or you kind of have a full idea of what people go through in the culture.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So on that note, one love, one culture, in the name of reggae and dancehall music.
Ciao.